What is up, MMA fans? This is Tudolonte for Sherdog.com, and today it's my pleasure to talk with UFC featherweight fighter Mr. Tristan Connelly. Hello, Tristan. Welcome back on Sherdog. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Just getting ready to make weight and then punch them in the face. It's a glorious time.
Of course, fight days, glory days, as the saying goes. Before we started recording the interview, you told me that you were reading something. What were you reading, if I may ask?
I just reading just random stuff, nothing really that impressive, honestly. Just reading the news, just the headlines, and reading a couple articles, all the madness that's going on in the world,
Okay, totally understand. No worries. So you mentioned the weight cutting. Where are you right now as far as weight cutting goes?
I'm at that point that I think happens to all of us, where we go, oh my God, what have I done? What am I doing? This is possible? Like, I can't believe I'm having to weigh how much on what day? So the weight cut panic, as I call it, where you're so worried about making weight that the fight that you don't even think about the fight for this next week and a half. You're just so dialed in, making sure that you do everything you possibly can to make sure that you hit those numbers on that scale.
But of course, I'm guessing here that you are going to make weight, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm definitely gonna make weight. I'm on point. Whole camp's been good. I've been at a lighter weight kind of all camp this time, so it's gonna be a little bit easier, I think. Making sure that the last 2 weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks is where you start really manipulating a lot of stuff to make the water come off. So it's right now I'm starting my water loading, dropping the carbs out like pretty much completely now. We got a couple days of having fiber left, then we get rid of the fiber, and then from there it's just a slow grind for the rest of next week till we get down to the 145.
I don't envy you fighters. The days before the scale. That's tough. It's
the hardest part. Like, reality, the weight cut's the hardest part. I mean you could have a hard fight, but at some point it's almost like you get a hard fight, it's enjoyable after, even if you're banged up and bruised, it's satisfying. But a weight cut is just sucks the whole way through.
But listen, since you're telling me right now that it's the harder part and the hardest part of fight week, and you're not the only one who actually believes it, do you think that there might be a solution for this big issue for you fighters?
Not an easy one, not something that the smaller shows are ever going to be able to be capable of doing. The only thing you could do is really put a lot more money into almost having like a USADA-type program to monitor athletes' weights. From the moment they sign a contract, they have to be within this weight, and they have to have people random. Like, can't just have phone-in scale checks, because people will cheat on that. You need to have random show up weight checks where you have to fall into a percent. Like, that would be the only way, and that would be a big cost and a lot of work, but it could be done.
Well, hopefully somewhere in the future promotions will do something about this, since I know that it really is a big issue of the sport in general. But still, right now, your next
is what it is.
Unfortunately, you're right. It is what it is.
Not going to change it before this next fight. So let's make the weight and kick some ass,
Your next assignment will see you taking on UFC veteran Darren Elkins on April the 30th. Where have you been doing your training camp for this fight?
I've split time between Las Vegas and back home in Vancouver. So I did the first half of my camp back home, and then I came to Vegas for just about a month to do like right in the middle of camp, so I could be down here at the PI. There's a lot of good people here, a lot of good bodies, a lot of good trainers, a lot of good coaches. So lots of good knowledge to soak up down in Vegas. And then I went back home for a couple of weeks just to work with my coaches back home for the last 2 really hard weeks. And now I'm back in Vegas right now, just for the, to take advantage of the UFCPI for my weight cut, because man, it makes life so much easier.
May I ask a few of the names you have been training with?
Yeah, I've a bunch of different people. I've been actually, so my coaches back home, Adam Ryan and Jay Johnsey, are the 2 that I'm bringing to the corner. And also my Bellator fighter, Jeremy Kennedy, is a good longtime buddy of me. He's who I'm staying with right now. Actually, he's going to be coming to the corner. I've been working with down here in Vegas, Coach Casey and from 10th Planet, and actually Gavin Tucker. Me and him have become friends here over the last month and a half, and I've been working with him a lot, man. He is a smart guy with a lot of knowledge. So I've been drilling a lot with him. And then a bunch of my teammates back home. I got to give a big shout out to Josh Kukowski and Bryce Goujon. They've been helping me out a lot, and Christian Tremaine. The 3 of them really helped me out a lot back home. And then down here, Julian Rosa has helped me out a lot, as well as Arthur Dufflo is another guy coming up. He's got his pro debut coming up, but he's been getting in there and sharing the cage with me a lot. So those are the big guys that have helped me out a lot this camp. There's so many others that have helped me out too. That guy, it's just I would need a list in front of me.
Yeah, I understand. I suspect you already know pretty well Darren Elkins, since he has been fighting since forever.
Forever, yeah.
But still, may I ask, what do you expect from him in your fight?
Yeah, well, I expect Darren to be Darren. If there's the advantage that we have going into this is that he has been in the UFC forever, and we can see the evolution of him. And the evolution of Darren Elkins is that there isn't much evolution. He does the same things, and he's very good at what he's good at. And I think a lot of people go, okay, well, he's got a lot of things that he's not great at. And people look at that and they underestimate him, and then they forget that he's very good at what he is good at. And he is very tough. He does not get deterred mentally, which happens to most guys. When they start getting beat up, they get deterred. Not Darren. He keeps coming. He keeps pressing his game plan. Even if it's not working, he'll keep pressing it until you get tired and it works. And if you go in there and you think you're going to walk through this guy, you're going to have a rough night, because he will take the kitchen sink and then he will come back at you and choke you out. So I'm expecting Darren to just be himself, coming in with his jabbing in, throwing his overhands, looking to get his head inside single, or looking to chain it to a dumbbell, or drive to the fence and look for trips. And I'm expecting him to just have a pace that does not just sort of sticks to. So, I'm planning there going in and fighting smart and making him work the whole fight, but just not fighting his fight.
I know that you were supposed to face Makwan Amirkhani in October, but I read that you had to withdraw to undergo a second neck surgery.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, that's correct, unfortunately.
How did the recovery go?
Recovery's been great. The benefit is that this is the second time I've gone through the same surgery, not the same spot. The first surgery was fine. It was just I had a disc replacement, so I had it on at another level. And yeah, I've gone through it before, so I knew exactly what to expect. There was a clean timeline for everything, so everything's gone according to plan and at the fastest I'm allowed to go. Like the benchmarks were never, I don't feel like I'm capable of this. The benchmarks were, what does the surgeon say I'm allowed to do? And I was at every single day I was allowed to do a new activity. I was doing it as good as I can. And it was just, I building my fitness back to what it needed to be to be fight ready. Yeah,
I totally understand. It must have been tough for you to undergo 2 times.
It definitely it's tough experience, man. But the way I look at it is kind of 2 different sides to it. So One, it's that, well, I'm an athlete. Athletes get injured, and it's kind of, you have to be ready for these things. The other side of it, I've had is really almost no. I've had a couple of like meniscus surgeries a long time ago. Other than that, I've had relatively no injuries. You know, I've been really good, and nothing that's kept me away. So, you know, I've had these two surgeries. They both kept me away from fighting for about 6 months each, but hey man, one knee surgery and you're out of training for a year. So I'm thankful that it was, you know, as serious as the surgeries were, the turnaround wasn't terrible. I haven't had a lot of set time away from any other injuries. So it's like, you know, I mentally, that's what sort of keeps me going. It keeps me from being like, oh man, I've lost all this like time and oh, I'm behind. It's like, you know what, all athletes are going to go through things. So and you know, this is mine, and all I can do is put my one foot in front of the other and keep going. And so and the good side is that, you know, it makes you a little hungrier too. Like when I came back to training after having, you know, 3 months of no contact, I couldn't wait to get on the mats. I couldn't wait to spar, couldn't wait to grapple. And it you know, really rejuvenates your enthusiasm for everything.
Like we were saying about weight cutting, unfortunately, injuries are part of the journey.
Yes, exactly. You know, it's something's got to make it work somewhere, right? Can't just be fun every day.
So I noticed that you have a very peculiar nickname, Boondock. Correct me.
Boondock.
Okay,
yeah, that's right.
May I ask what does it mean?
Yeah, so well, it all comes from a movie that me and my friends when we were teenagers, we used to watch called Boondock Saints. And there's a song for the opening intro to the movie that I liked. It's an Irish song. So I started, when I first fought, I chose that as my walkout song, and the promoter absolutely loved it. And the next time I fought for him, he didn't even ask me. He just played that song and had me introduced as Tristan Connelly. And like, I had no saying over it. And then the next day on Sherdog, boom, Tristan Connelly was there. So it's like, well, you know, the best nicknames are always ones you don't pick. And, you know, that was given to me. So, and I've kept that same walkout song, and I've rode with it till, and I'll keep going with it till the end.
Are you still using it for your next fight?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I use the same song. It's just like and for me, the song, as soon as I hear it, it just puts me, the hair on the back of my neck stands up. You know, it puts me right where I need to be. Even when it comes randomly on my playlist, it's just, you know, right away it puts me right in that walkout mindset that I need. So it really is the song for me, and I've built it that way, and it's a mental trigger.
We are recording a few days after Easter. Did you have the chance to celebrate it, if you celebrate it in general?
Yeah, well, yes and no. So I got to go back. I went back home. I went to visit my family. I have a 22-month-old baby. Ooh. I guess she's a toddler now. So we did get to go. We have set up like Easter stuff for her, and we were planning on having like a little bit of a dinner, but then the baby got sick like the day before Easter, like in her first, like she's had COVID twice and it was nothing, but now she get like just a cold. We all had rat tests and it was just literally just a cold, but it was the sickest she's ever been. So my parents and my wife's parents, like we figured we just cancel everything. So we didn't really get to have a dinner or do anything. But I got to see, we got to have some fun with my daughter and let her, she started sort of understands a little bit, like taught her how to find eggs, and it was, you know, exciting for her.
Is she feeling better now?
Yeah, she's feeling like the day after I left, she started feeling better. It was just, you know, cold, runny nose and coughing, and it was the first time that she'd ever experienced that, you know, so like not sleeping, just irritable and cranky and delusional, and but she's doing good now.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I wish her the best, of course.
No, thank you.
The card on which you're fighting is headlined by the clash between Rob Font and Marlon Vera. May I ask a pick for this fight?
I think Rob Font's going to do it. Marlon's a tough guy. I like Marlon a lot. I've been very impressed with Rob Font's performances as of late, and I put my money on him.
And what about a prediction for your fight?
My fight, Well, in my head, I'm planning on just beating him by decision, because that's how you beat Darren Elkins in your mind. When you go, oh, I'm going to finish him, that's when you get in trouble. But I have this feeling that I'm going to TKO him in round 2. I don't know why. That's like in my head, I'm planning for a decision, but my gut tells me TKO round 2.
Tristan, I finished my questions. Before I let you go, do you have any last message that you would like to share with us today?
Just tune in. It's going to be a hell of a fight. I've put everything into this. I'm feeling as good as I ever have. Found the best version of me I've ever been, and I can't wait to put on a show for you guys. And tune in. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much for giving me a little bit of your time today. Best of luck with your upcoming fight. Hopefully, I'll hear again from you in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tudor. Talk to you soon.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.